Hi, everybody. This is Deborah. I decided to come online and come online before sex. Let me read the disclaimer. All the information provided on this channel is for educational purpose only, and this channel does not promote or encourage misuse of the information. I will mention some alleged happenings today, and yes, I will give my opinions about some things. My thoughts matters, and so do yours. I will use words not intending to offend people, but to describe my point of view and how I see things. Take what resonates and what does not resonate, put it on the shelf or throw it away. I'm going to wait a little bit before wait on some people to come in. The message is going to be whatever. The chat is whatever. And I got something to say about toxicity. I'll be right back. Okay. Waiting on some people to come in. I give it another 10 minutes. And then I'll get started. Ho, 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 ho. Well, let me just say this. I was watching a video with Lauren Hill, and she was on stage, and she was thanking everybody that was a part of the Miseducation project, and she brought I think his name is Rohan Marlin, which was her ex-husband. She brought him up on stage, and she thanked him, and she was thanking, I guess, the band that was a part of the Miseducation um, project. She was thanking them as well, and I thought that was so awesome. That she is still connected to her ex-husband, and it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing if you get a divorce, and if you had anger issues while you were getting divorced, and then at some point, some years later, you're able to get along because you have kids. They had 5 kids together, and that was a lot of children. But I don't think three was too many for me. I had, you know, but I wasn't planning that one. That was she forced Miss Girl forced herself out. She was the last one, the baby. But I was only planning on having two. Two was enough for me. But anyway, I the 13th is my son's birthday, and he did get his bachelor degree. He just graduated, so now he has 2 degrees. Um, so he has chemo today, and he his meal and his birthday cake early because he used to be very weak doing chemo. And so I had to cook his meal today that he wanted. He wanted some collard greens, he wanted some pole beans, he wanted any type of beef. So I got him steak instead. I made some potato salad and dressing for myself because I do the vegetables. Uh, and he likes the store bought cake. So I had to go pick up his cake. And when I went to pick up his cake, uh, Publix, I went to Publix, and they normally have the cakes in the bakery area. They don't put them in the bakery area anymore. They put them up front with customer service. I guess they had some situations going on. But anyway, so the young lady sent a girl back there to pick up the cake for me. Uh, and while I was waiting, there was a guy, he looked to be about 40 something years old. He may have been young. He just looked like he was 40 something to me. But anyway, he kept reaching behind me. And so finally, I turned around and I looked at him. I said, let me just move out your way. And he went to blabbing off at the mouth like a woman. No, sorry, like a female. And this gentleman, which I didn't notice, was standing there and he heard me talking to him. And I guess he was watching the interaction that took place. He came over and he said to the guy, he said, man, you were wrong. You kept reaching over her. You need to apologize to her. Just be a man and apologize to her. And I was like in awe. I was in awe because now I realize that we're in a period now where the women don't have to defend themselves. There are men out there now that will come forward to defend you, not female, but woman, will defend a woman now. And I just thought that was a beautiful thing. The guy still didn't apologize. He walked off. He didn't see anything wrong with reaching over me. He didn't see anything wrong with that. He was trying to get me to argue with him. I wasn't going to argue with him. I just politely, I said, let me just move out your way. But I wanted him to know that what you was doing was rude. So the gesture was moving out the way instead of saying something to him. I just want to talk about. Seems like this keep coming up. What keeps coming up is this. There are some. I call a man an adult, and I call one that thinks he's an adult a boy. So I call him a male. Okay. So you know that when I mention male, I'm talking about boy, acting like a boy, but has the age of an adult, but it's not an adult. Okay. So you're gonna hear me using that term today. Um, these toxic guys listen to the patriarchals, and they have done a lot of damage to these patriarchal uh, these patriarchals has done a lot of damage to these males. And I'm serious. They and not only to the males, they have done a lot of damage to the females as well. Because every female that wants a male, she's going to take up for the man. And mind you, while this guy kept reaching over me, the girl that was waiting on me was smiling and cheesing and Oh, she was just smiling because he was a male. And I thought that was so, as long as females give the green light for these males to keep on being disrespectful, they're going to keep on being disrespectful. Uh, that's just what they do. You can't shove nothing under the rug. And I'm going to talk about some things today you ain't going to like, but that's okay. It wouldn't be the first time that I talk about something that you ain't going to like. I know a lady. I don't even know whether I should call her a lady, but I know a person that has a son. He's he does drugs and he does alcohol, and he beats on his baby mama, and the mother does nothing about it. She don't say nothing to him about it. And if in fact she did say something to him about it, he still does it. As a matter of fact, he went to jail for it. And the thing of it is, as long as you as a mother uphold your male supposed to be adult son for the wrong that he does, he's going to keep on doing it. And that's what he did. He went to jail and he came out and he still kept on doing it. Uh, very violent toward his baby mama because she doesn't fit. She's an alcoholic too. And I know about alcohol because I used to drink myself. And so I know what that person is hurting. She's hurting. The young girl is hurting. That's why she drinks. Um, and that's why a lot of people drink. They drink trying to kill the pain. You can't kill the pain with alcohol because it's a temporary fix. It's just like drugs, because alcohol is a drug. But that's one side of uh, enabling a toxic male is the mother does it. She enables him by not correcting him. And, there's ways to correct. Uh, the mother can do it. Uh, the other way that I've seen where the boy is a nice looking fella. And so what he does, he pimps out the girls. He beat up on the girls. And I know this, what I'm telling you is what I've experienced seeing and knowing someone that went through this. Uh, he was a pimp to these girls, and he wouldn't beat up on the girls, but the girls knew that they had to do whatever he wanted them to do. He would take the money. He would literally take the money, take the money from them. And the mother did not do anything to correct him. The mother now, and she's a good looking lady herself. And the mother now she has Alzheimer's now. That's what she has. So she's not even aware. And the guy, her son, is now having to take care of her. And that's what's happening to that particular situation. Mothers enable their sons to be disrespectful to females. You have been putting that under the rug forever and a day and a night. Mothers also enable their husbands by turning her back or her head. She enables her husband to continue molesting their daughter, just like the movie Precious. And what pisses me off now is you that call yourselves black would sit up there and say white people do that. You can't say that now because it's happening too much now. It's happening too much on you all that call yourselves black. Okay, so we're not gonna hide that under the rug anymore. I have not experienced that. I have not hid anything under the rug. I have always been the one that said what I had to say. That's why most people don't like me around, because I say what I have to say, what I feel is right to say. I will chop up the hidden stuff, the hidden evil, wicked stuff. You know, I'll do that, because it's time out now for you hiding, females hiding behind these toxic males. That all they're gonna do is destroy your children, because that's what they've been doing all these years up to this day. Because they are lied to in the church. The church tells them, uh, and when they go to prison, they literally believe that the Bible says that the woman is a male's helpmate. We're not your helpmate, okay? We're not your slave. We're not your helpmate. We're here to be a part of this earth uh, as mothers, matriarchals, okay? Not slaves. That's who we are down here, okay? And if I feel or I detect that someone come on my channel trying to disrespect me, what you're going to do is get yourself embarrassed. So I advise you, don't come on my channel trying to disrespect me, because either I'm going to block you or I'm going to embarrass you, because I don't disrespect people. I say what I have to say. I have a right to what I have to say. You have a right to say what you say, but you need to say it on your channel. Just like I'm saying it on this channel. YouTube gave me this channel and it has my name on it. And so what I have to say, as long as YouTube is all right with it, then I'm all right with it. Okay? Now, I'm sick and tired. I've gotten sick and tired of so-called black people saying all the evil that's being done by them, saying, oh, the white man did this, the white man did that, the white woman. Let me tell you something. Those girls that you call white, when those guys, males that you call black, go and deal with those girls that are white, that you call white, they do them the same way. They disrespect them the same way. Okay? Those guys that you call white, that many of them are disrespectful to their white girlfriends and wives too. So don't think that the males is just subject to color. Because if you think that, you kind of messed up in the head. This thing goes all across the cultures, okay, because of the patriarchals. Because of the patriarchals have taught these males to disrespect the female, which she disrespects herself, and disrespect the woman. The woman generally disrespects herself till she find out that she don't need to be doing that no more. At least she come around to not disrespecting herself anymore. She realized that if she doesn't respect herself, ain't nobody will. Respect starts at home first. You have to respect yourself, because when you respect yourself, they ain't gonna like it in the beginning, but eventually they're gonna respect you. I know this is a sour subject, and people don't like confrontation at all. The kind that needs to be confronted. because this needs to change. It needs to change. The longer you tolerate that behavior from those toxic, because nothing is going to get better. It's just going to get worse and worse and worse and worse. I know plenty that put up with, I know plenty of female that put up with that toxicity. He wants a female, another female, so she puts up with that. And then when she get tired of putting up with that female, then she go jump on the female. You need to stop fighting that female. I've said, hey, Amani, how you doing? I've said on few occasions, you have no right to be fighting that female if that female is not your sister. She's not your best friend. She's not your relative. You don't even know that female and you're going to go fight her. You need to fight that guy. If you want to release some frustration, you need to fight that guy because he is the one that created that. And like I've said in the past, you are under low self-esteem to allow him to come in and do that. Bible is not literal. Ain't no male down here. No male. Ain't no male has authority over any woman. The woman is the spiritual being down here in this earth. The toxicity that has taken place in this earth with the woman as well as the female. And who is the female? The female is the one that don't care nothing about herself. Okay? The woman is the one that is working on herself and trying to be a better person. That's the difference between the female and the woman. And the difference between the male and the man is the adult. He has respect for the woman. He's the one that listens to the woman. The male do not. They listen to other toxic males like themselves. They get taught this shit in the prison system. They get taught this shit in the churches. I just saw a preacher the other day on the rear that comes through Facebook. And he told the woman, he said to her, he said, hush. He walked over to the woman and told the woman, hush. Because I guess she called herself praising God or whatever, but she was very distracting. And so he walks over and he tells her to hush so he can hear God. First of all, you're not going to hear God in no church because all the women that are spiritual in your church, they listen to you. And because they listen to you, you're a male. You're not spiritual. So ain't no God speaking in your churches. If women got good sense, they would leave those churches. Why would you want to? Every time women listen to male, what happens to them? They get broken down. They have no authority over you. Now, I'm not saying that female, because that's what she was to me, because a woman don't act like that. That female was disrupted. And she was hollering. And see, my thing is, if somebody comes up and now his excuse was, I've had the members to go and talk to her on several occasions about doing that. And she does that all the time. And then he says, well, y'all didn't know that that's what she was doing. That's why I said that to her. So you figure you're going to embarrass her. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. You'll know the difference between someone acting and someone not acting. And you always going to have them kind of females in churches. You're going to have one that get up and call herself dancing in the spirit, faking in the spirit, okay? Then you're going to have one that call herself speaking in tongues, speaking to devils. That's what she's doing. You're going to have that because that's what they do. They go into churches and want to be seen and heard. And they don't care. They like little boys. Little boys, when he doesn't get attention the good way, little boys go out and act up negatively because they know that they're going to get some attention. That's what they do in church. Same thing. When they don't get no attention from the preacher or whoever in the church that think they're important, then they do that speaking in tongues, and they do that, oh, thank you, Jesus, I appreciate you, Jesus, and that fake ass dance that they do in church. That's what they do. Now, was the preacher wrong for going and telling her that? If in fact what he said was true, he had a right to go and tell her. But he should have went to her. If that happened several times, he should have went to her privately and told her not to do that. Do I think he should have did that publicly? No. Because maybe she wouldn't have did that if he had went to her and told her. You know, it's just ways that you can do things without all that. Does he have authority? He doesn't have authority. Males don't have authority over women. Women are the spiritual beings in this earth. They just don't know that they're the spiritual being in this earth. That's why the males that know that you are a spiritual being in this earth, that is why they manipulate you into thinking and speaking what they want done in this earth. I keep saying that. I can't say it no more than that. And that's just the way it is. You take a person like me, and there's many others out there like myself. Not exactly like me, because I'm a little different, but there are many out there that, what I mean, that are outspoken, that speak their mind, and they don't take orders from males. Just because you don't take orders from males does not mean you hate them. You don't hate them. You don't like how they operate in that patriarchal mindset. I can't stand that patriarchal mindset. It's irritating. It's nauseous, and I just don't like it. But if you come at me like a man, like what that man did for me today, he took up for me. That's what men do. Men judge right and wrong. They don't care who it is. If the woman is wrong, he'll say something to her. If the male is wrong, he'll say something to her, because that's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do. That's how you know he's a man. He told him, he said, man, he said, you were wrong for reaching over her like that. Just apologize to her like a man. That's what the man said to the boy, because that's what he was. He was a male, but he was a boy, because his attitude was, he said to me, what did I do wrong? That's what he said to me. What did I do wrong? I wasn't going to sit up there and try to talk to a wall, because he was like a brick wall to me. I wasn't going to waste my energy on that. I just moved out the way. And I use that example, and I tell y'all some things that I experienced, not because I want you to feel sorry for me, because I can handle myself, but to let you know, because you have knowledge, people have knowledge. Don't think they don't go through stuff. We go through stuff all the time. We have to deal with all kinds of stuff. You know, all kinds of foolishness. People get mad with you because you don't listen to their story. I don't want to listen to the same story over and over and over with you. Fix it. Do something about it. You in love with a man and the man don't want you, okay, let him go. Gone through your pain and your hurt. You'll heal from it. We all done been there. That's all I hear. A man don't hurt me. A man don't hurt me. You don't give yourself time to heal. You got to go through a healing process. Because if you don't go through healing, you're going to go out there and select the same type of guy. You're going to do that. Because the minute he says, you say yes to him, you made that decision to deal with that guy. The same spirit. And you want me to feel sorry for you? No, ma'am. I'm not doing that. My son just had a friend. His friend just graduated too. He graduated, he got his first degree. And his mama, he's mixed. He's mixed. And when you hear me use that type of term, there's a reason why I'm doing that today. But he ain't never had anything positive in his life. And his mother was a Caucasian woman, and she allowed black guys to beat up on her. And so that's all this young man saw, was that taking place in his life. So he never had anything positive going on. My son encouraged him to go to college. Told him to go he did. So he got his degree, his first degree. So he met someone while he was in school. And the problem is this young man is on drugs. He do drugs and he drinks a lot. And the young man he met don't like that. He goes to church. The young man goes to church and he judges this boy. And I said to my son, I said, well, he judged him on drinking and he judged him on doing drugs. That same Bible he picked up that he literally read, it also says man should not lie with man too. I mean, male should not lie with male. It says that too. If you're going to literally read something, then you need to literally remember that too. It just amazes me how people are so judgmental about particular things. They pick and choose what they're going to be judgmental on, but that same finger is going to be pointed back at you. But the young man wrote him a text and judged him and told him he don't want to be with him and he's a drunk and all that stuff, and that he need to get himself together and all that. And and then they went out to the club the night before, and the guy know he liked men, but he kissed this girl in front of the guy, making him jealous. Just craziness, just crazy stuff. It's just, my thing is, it's nothing wrong. Whatever you want to be, you be. If you want to be a lesbian, be a lesbian. If you want to be a homosexual, be a homosexual. If you want to be straight, you think you're straight, you got feminine and masculine in you. But if you want to call yourself straight, I ain't got no problem with that either. Okay, I ain't got no problem with that. Whatever you want to be, you need to respect others. You need to respect others. And women are not doing that. Females are not doing that. They put everything on the Caucasian community. Always talking about how Caucasians are so evil. The Caucasians that are cutting up in this time period that we're in, you black people ruled before them. And you did the same thing. As a matter of fact, you taught them this shit. And you have the audacity to talk about that Caucasian. You're doing the same thing. And you know what? I look at some of the Caucasians today, you know what? They are ashamed to watch you act ugly toward each other. Because now they're getting to see how ugly they were toward black people. You don't even see Caucasians acting up no more. It's black on black. And then what's so funny to me now, when I go to places now, the so-called Black Americans, I don't see y'all working. You know where I'm seeing people working now is Africans. I go into the banks, Africans. If I go into the corporations, Africans. I go into the hospital, Africans. Where are you Black Americans? Where you at? Don't you like the pot calling the kettle? And you need to stop. You need to stop. You can't talk about nobody unless you cleaning up your closet. Listen, I had a dream, like most of my dreams are pathetic. Prophetic. I had a dream last night. And in my dream, there was this girl that my mama says my daddy, his daughter. And she says she my sister, but I don't deal with her. Anyway, she was in my dream last night. And I was in this big room. And in this big room, there was a lot of clothes and a lot of washing machines and dryers in there. And this big old floor. So what I did, I washed all the clothes. It was a lot of clothes. I washed a lot of clothes. And then I started sweeping the floor. She came when I was almost done sweeping the floor. She came and swept a little bit of it. When I woke up today, it came to me that all that stuff, all that negative and filth and whatever, I was cleaning it up out of my system. That's what that was. So if you have dreams, I have them all the time. But if you have dream and it seems foolish, just talk to yourself and you see that it may be something you need to pay attention to. Because my dreams, all my dreams are like downloads for me. And so I pay attention to all of them. All right, so that's all I had to say, really. So Imani, how you been doing? How's your day? It was all right. Okay. Well, that was my little experience today. Oops, let me check this collard greens real quick. I forgot about them collard greens. Okay. I've just been feeling so tired and weak for no reason. No, you're not. It's not a you. There is a reason. We all are part of the body, one body, and we all are feeling that kind of stuff. It's just that you just have to persevere. If you were in a relationship and you're disconnecting from that relationship, then uh, being tired is what is a part of the process. And and you think, because see, I've said many times, when you connect with people, you're connecting with their spirit. It doesn't matter if you are sexually, or if you just friends, or if you telephone friends, or if you computer friends. You connect with their spirit. And being an empath, I'm an empath. Being an empath, I feel everything you do, just about, you know. And that's why I can't connect with people too long. I think these days, the most I've connected with people, it may have been 6 months. Because if you tell them what you're experiencing from them, they're not going to receive it. So I don't do that. I just politely just remove myself, because they don't accept. See, the thing about people, they don't know that you experiencing what they trying to hide. And you can't hide anything from empath. They're going to feel it. If they're not focused on something else, they're going to feel what's going on with you, because that's just the way it is. Uh, we're born that way. Yeah, we're born that way as empath. We feel everything, and you know, and some people don't really know that they're empath, and they're feeling things, and they can't figure out why they're feeling things. It's because and they can't figure out why they should be feeling anything, because on their mind they ain't had nothing to where they should be feeling certain things. But it's because they're empath. You know, some of us get to know that at an early age, and some of us don't. You know, some of us get to know that at a later age. And you know, we parted ways a year ago, and it's been a long process, but it's getting better. Yeah. How long were y'all together? It's been a year. How long have y'all been together? Because the longer you're together, sometimes the longer it 3 years. Yeah, sometimes it takes a while. I was with my ex-husband 20 something years. Hi, Camilla. How you doing? I was with my ex-husband 25 years, and it took me almost 20 years to release being tied to him. See, people think that they're soul tied. Uh, your soul is not tied to anybody but you. Okay, your soul don't tie to nobody else. I don't know why they keep, and it's funny how people keep repeating the same lie. Your soul is within you. It does not connect with nobody but you. Now, what you're tied to is the body itself. The physical body itself is what you're tied to. Okay? That is the thing that you have to release. And it takes some time. It really do. It some people uh get so connected they think they're in love, but some people, many people are not in love. They just tied to that person, and they think is the being tied to that person and being in love with that person. It has the same type of emotions, so it looks like that you're in love with that person. I still love my ex-husband, but I don't want to be with him. I don't want to be with him because he was toxic for me. And that was just it. He was one of those type of person. You ain't spiritual. You ain't this. You ain't that. Oh, okay. So I put up with that shit for a while by letting him tell me that, because in his mind he created in his mind what he think a spiritual person is supposed to be and act. That was in his mind, because he didn't damn know. He was basing it off Christianity, judging. And so I didn't know all this until after I divorced him. And he was like a demon for me. But believe it or not, he taught me a lot of things in a negative kind of way that he don't realize. And and believe it or not, all that was connecting with me was married couples. And I said to the Most High, why am I having to deal with married couples? Because they were going through the same thing, same stuff. And it was also helping me not to hate, because I hated him. But I didn't hate him for a long period of time. I hated him because in my mind, I had created what an older man's supposed to be. In my mind, an older man's supposed to have wisdom. And he was from Trinidad too. In my mind, he was smart. He was smart in intellect, in books. But spiritual, he didn't have it. The only spiritual he had is what he got from me. Why? Because I'm the woman. I'm the woman with the spiritual. All women down here in this earth is spiritual. And I can't say that enough. But he was my demon. He was my demon. He didn't know he was my demon because he used to call me a demon. People gonna always call things, people demons of stuff that they don't understand. I went to the hospital with my son yesterday, and there was this Catholic. There was two Catholic women. You'll find them at the hospitals and stuff. So one of them went toward the pharmacist because my son had to get his medicine, and then the other one sit in front of me, and I was reading. I had this book, Isis, Mysteries of Isis, and I've been had this book for about 10 years. And I always take a book with me because I used to have problems waiting. I used to kind of get impatient. But as I take something to read with me, I learned to have patience. So I have patience now. I can sit somewhere for 3-4 hours and won't even pay attention to time. But anyway, this woman asked me what was I reading, so I told her. And she asked me what was about, because I felt she wanted to minister to me. And then so she came over, and I was telling her what was in the book, and she wasn't agreeing with it. It didn't agree with her. And I said to her, I said, there is no man named Jesus. And I said, I don't believe in a man named Jesus. I used to, but I don't now. And I said to her, I said, we're the Christ. The Christ is within us. Excuse me, like Buddha, like Chris, like Heru, is in us. And she was looking at me all smiling and shit. And then I said, okay, you want to go there? And then she wanted to pull the Bible out. Why did she pull that Bible out? I told that woman, I said, let's go to Galatians. She said, Galatians what? I said, Galatians 5. I said, read it. And what she read, that you can't know God unless you know God spiritually. She left me alone. You can't judge a book by its cover because of where they are. If you meet people in the hospitals and you're going down there trying to minister to tell them about Jesus, that's not going to hear those people. It's too many people sick that believe and love this Jesus, but they're not getting better because this Jesus supposedly said to the disciples, "You do greater works than me." He healed the sick. Leprosy was like AIDS. He did that supposedly. He opened up the eyes of the blind, supposedly. So all that stuff, being a disciple is nothing but a follower of Jesus. You should be doing that. How come the church is not doing that shit? How come they're not at the hospital healing people, opening up the eyes of the blind? How come they're not doing that? You see what I'm saying? Something wrong with that picture. But that lady hurry up and left me. Because I told her, I said, honey, I studied the Bible a long time, for years. You know, you can't, she doesn't realize it was the spirit that drew her to me. You know, but you know what you have on you. You know what you have on you. Hey, Dara, how you doing? You know what you have on you. And when you see people drawn to you, it's not just people that are like-minded that's drawn to you. It's people that's not like-minded that's drawn to you, that like that spirit and they want to be under that spirit. And they get on your last nerve. But you got to know what type of spirit you have on you. People want to be depended upon. Some people want others to depend on them for spirituality. I don't depend on people for my spirituality because that is inside of me. And I try to speak that on this channel. It's inside of you. You know, it's a beautiful thing to congregate, to be able to get on a platform and we all can talk about our experiences and stuff. That's a beautiful thing. Because sometimes talking about our experiences can help other people. But overall, that's all inside you. The only male that will come on a platform to listen to me is a man. Because males can't stand what I have to say. But a man will come on this platform because he knows what I'm saying. You see, Dara says, spirit in us alive. Yes. This is not an easy platform to listen to. Because if you know Virgos, a real Virgo, a Virgo keep it real. We keep it real. If you come to me weighing 300 pounds and you got on a tight dress and you ask me, do it look good? I'm going to tell you no. You ain't going to like it, but I'm going to tell you no. Don't ask me. I'm going to be real to me, myself. And therefore, I'm going to be real to you. I'm not going to be real to me and be fake with you. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to do that with you. If I tell me about me, then I'm going to tell you about you. You'll never see me come on your platform disrespecting you. I don't have a problem with people talking. You can say things and say what you feel and how you feel without disrespecting somebody. Because a person that has respect knows I got great respect for people's opinion. Great respect. What I don't have respect for is fakeness. I don't like it. And I can feel it. And I know what when you open up your mouth and tell a lie, and I'm feeling your spirit. That's what I'm feeling. And your spirit is saying something totally different than what's coming out your mouth. And I'm paying attention to your spirit. I'm listening to what you're saying because you're lying, but I'm paying attention to your spirit. You may say that I just love Betsy, and then a negative spirit be on you when you're saying that. I feel that because you're lying. People don't like to be confronted. That is the only way all of us gonna rise above this carnal minded, this low way of thinking. The only way we're gonna rise above is to tell the truth about who we are within ourselves, to ourselves. That's the only way we're gonna rise above. Think about it. When you're taking a test, a questionnaire, and it's a yes or a no test, you got 20 questions. Based on how many you answer will determine you're going to pass the test, right? It's the same way within yourself. If you got, we're going to do numbers. Say if you got 10 trials to go through within yourself and you only pass one of them, your ass going to stay there until you pass however many. Exactly, Daryl. Truth sets you free. And truth don't feel good. It does not feel good. It does not. Listen, I remember when I got a divorce from my husband, I lost my job. I lost my place where I lived with him. The judge ordered me out. She told me to leave because he was the one working at the time. I wasn't at the time. She told me to leave. I had to give him back his car. Well, not his car, it was our car, but I had to give him the car. I had to go through all that, just everything. You know, some particular people turned against me, you know, but the Most High gave it back to me later on. But my point is, I had an ego problem back then. And you can't see nothing when your ego is high. You can't see a damn thing. All you see is you great. Now, I wasn't the type of person that would brag outwardly. I would brag inwardly. And then I would pat myself on the back for a job well done. I had to laugh about it because it wasn't funny then, but it's funny now because I know where I came from. So I had to be broken. You can't walk in this earth as a spiritual woman or man in ego, because ego is a blinder. It only focuses on what it sees. It's a physical thing. It only focuses on the intellect. You hear some people talk about the intellect, but the intellect is not spiritual, boo. Intellect is here only in the earth. It's not a spiritual thing. We can play with words all day and all night, but it's not spiritual. The same way they do the yin and the yang. And they do the yin and the yang the same way all the time. Well, the yin is feminine, and that's negative, they say. And the yang is masculine, and that's positive. And we know it's a lie. We know it's a lie. And the patriarchals did it because they're the writers of all the books that you see put out. And don't let it be on the best book list. You definitely know it blinds some people. That book blinded some people because that's what they set for. They give you a little truth and then they give you a bunch of confused stuff. And that's what happens with the intellect. The intellect read the book thinking that everything in there is the truth, and it's not. But the spiritual person would take that same book and see the lie and see the truth. But the intellect can't see it. They're not the same. And you can't make them the same. That's what they teach in college. You know. All right, let me check on my collard greens, people. I'm waiting on y'all to talk. Whew. Glad I got them things done. Them collard greens take a long time to cook. Have anybody seen the movie Catch Me If You Can? Let's see, I'll put it right here. Anybody seen that movie? Oh, you did? What you think about it? I see you got the 9. You know, I've been seeing the 9s for about 3 days now. 999. I said, okay. See, I was seeing the 5s, 4s, 7s. Now I'm for the past 3 days I've been seeing the 9s. So I guess that task is completed. And I can look and see, especially after having that dream last night. So it's cleanup time. Yeah, you have to clean stuff out of your mind, out of your life, out of your thoughts. You know, and that's a hard thing to do, you know. And it's like if you hadn't thought if you and somebody is over with and then all of a sudden, let's just say a year later, that person is in your dream or that person come in your thought, it's them thinking about you. It's not you, it's them. You know. And if the relationship was toxic, you know, it usually stay that way. They don't change. It's hard for a toxic female to rise up to not being toxic. That's the type of life she wants to live, you know, because she doesn't care about herself. And so, because she doesn't care about herself, any male that's trying to do better for himself, get rid of toxic, female, he's doomed because she gonna bring him right down. I just watched anyway, they have these movies on TV, and they so is sex, drugs. Let me see what they showing. It's sex and drugs and pimping now, and it's the same stuff that they were putting on TV back in the early 70s. I think it was one woman that I have not seen take her dress off. Uh, just one woman. Everybody else, they take their dress off same way them guys walk around in Hollywood and said they won't wear a dress, the males, and they wind up putting the dress on because if the price is right, you know, you really can't say what you won't do. Like I don't get mad no more, but I know that if somebody messes with my children, my grandchildren, the devil in me will rise real high. I can tell you that because I know I have one. You know, you should know that too. We all got positive and negative in us. And let me just talk a little bit about the feminine and the masculine. Most of the females walking around here are in their low feminine females. The women are walking around in their masculine because they had to defend themselves. Those are the ones that they're calling bitches, is the ones that are in the masculine. Time is out now for us to walk in our masculine. And I knew it was coming, but it was confirmed to me today in the grocery store. When I chose, I don't think I said to the man, I said, let me just move out your way. Because he kept reaching over me, reaching over me, reaching over me, disrespectful. And I don't like that at all. You know, I like, excuse me, but he didn't have to reach over me. And the cashier was just smiling, cheesing like she desperate for a male. But anyway, I just said to him, I said, let me move out your way. So I moved out his way. He was running his mouth like I was the one wrong because I moved out the way. No, I'm not going to argue with you. So the man that was in the store said something to him. He said to him, he said, man, he said, you apologize to that woman because you were wrong for reaching over her. All you have to do, just be a man and apologize to you. Do you think he did that? No, he did not. But the message for me to get that moment was males are going to be males and a man is going to be a man. That man is going to defend respect. He's going to defend it. And that's what that guy did today. As long as you are a woman, there's going to be a man there to defend the respect. And I assure you, there's many of them out there right now, man, that's teaching those disrespectful males how to respect now. That was my sign in the store to see. There's enough of them out there because they're tired of these. See, it used to be a time that they just stay quiet and wouldn't say nothing. I'm talking about the man. But now they're talking. And they're saying something to these disrespectful males. You know, and they don't have to be disrespectful to the female because she's being disrespectful to herself. They don't have to. But they do it because they know they can. You know. So the women that are out there, you don't have to defend yourself anymore. Stay quiet. Because the man is going to do it now. He's going to defend right. and he's going to correct wrong. That's where they at now. And that man that was in the store was my sign to me to let me know from the universe that's what's going on now. You don't have to defend yourself. It's going to always be a man wherever you are. There's always going to be a man. When a male disrespect, there's going to be a man there to correct it. That's the world we're coming to now. Dara says, I just can't call a woman a bitch. I did that before. Seems like I fell from my mind. I ain't laughing at you, Dara. I'm just laughing at how you worded it. Hey, Miss Fuller Brow, your little butt. Good to see you. Yeah, I'm just glad you in here, Daryl. I love it when a man or men come in. I've had some males in here that I've had to block, but I know where they are, and I'm not going to argue with the wall. I'm just not going to do that. I don't want to waste my energy on that no more, because I'm be honest with you, I had to tell you the truth. I used to think I could save people. I used to think I could save the males, the females, you can't save nobody that don't want to be saved. And that's just the truth. If these people are not looking to be helped or saved or be pointed in the right direction on how to live their life better, you can't do nothing about that. Because only the universe can do that. It took me a minute to get to that place because I was really paying it. I was literally reading the Bible thinking that. I was. And so I understand, but at the same time, I was still trying to walk right. No sexing, no drugging, no cursing, no gossiping, saying ugly things about people, trying to live right. Because you can't you can't try to save somebody and you over there beating up your children, or you over there acting like a wild woman in your household, and you can that see, because they can fix their mouth and say what they want. I know that the creator is in us, but the creator is outside of us too. Now, do I think the creator is in the planet? I think the creator's substance is in everything down here. That's what I think. Okay. But the actual creator itself, is it down here? No. No, I don't. Now, even though I saw that man in the moon, that black man in the moon with that, I mean, he was black and with the beard and the mustache and the braids. I don't know what that was. To this day, I don't know what that was. Some people, I read somewhere where they say that the males created that image because of their negativity. I can't remember where I read that at, but I read that somewhere that it came from the males created that image that's in the moon. And it's black. And I told you that I had a friend that was a Caucasian. Him and I were friends for 10 years. He called himself a prophet. We were friends for 10 years. And he told me that Yahweh, because he called him Yahweh, he said Yahweh is black. And he said Yahweh was the God of the black people. This is what he told me. He said Yahweh, and he was in the army and all that. He had retired from the army, so he traveled. He told me that Yahweh was the black people's God, and the black people uh well, you got to explain that one, Daryl. He said the black people did not like Yahweh, so Yahweh became the God to the Caucasian people, and that's why the Caucasian people are running things down. Now that's what he said to me. But the reason why we're not friends anymore because he told me a lie. This is funny. He told me that Yahweh showed me and him in the shower together. So he also told me that Yahweh told him to come to my house. He lived in Ohio. That Yahweh told him to come to my house and blow and walk around the house blowing the shofar because he blew the shofar. And because he considered himself to be a Jew. And so he came and he walked around the house and blew the shofar. And then you sit in the living room. And then he asked me, he said, can I take a shower? And I told him, yeah, go ahead and take a shower. And he was in that shower by his damn self. Because if Yahweh really told him that instead of his penis telling him that, Yahweh would have told him, Deborah ain't gonna have no sex with you because Deborah don't do that. I don't play that. I take sex very seriously. And that's one thing. Because see, I know you connect to spirits. And it took me a long time to get rid of that I had on me with my ex-husband. So Amani says, I never saw that man in the moon ever again. Oh, you saw it? You didn't tell me you saw it, Amani. So Daryl says they party in the moon. They who? They who party in the moon, Daryl. So Fool Abroad said that sounds like the story of Yakub. I know. They see, I do know when you go and look at what did I say? Genesis 37:38. That's the story of Yakub. That's the story of Yakub. That's the story that who taught that story first? The guys that what is his name? Farrakhan. All them guys taught that story. But whoever the leader was before Farrakhan, he taught it. And then the leader before that guy, he taught it. And the guy that taught it before that guy, he was Caucasian. Uh, so he taught that story. It was a Caucasian guy that taught that story that supposedly funded the Islam or the Muslim here in America. So I don't know. It's a story that was told and it came from them. Amon says yes, jet black, long hair, mustache. I felt he was feminine masculine. Yeah, he is feminine and masculine. He's both. Uh, I've been thinking about Ikata, like when people. Okay, all right. I'm glad you. Please, I'm glad you came by, Daryl. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Share it. Share whatever you want to share. Share it because we need to know. All we're trying to do is get the story straight. Because I believe that once you get the story straight, that you can become free. It's all about truth and becoming free. Have you talked before about how to clean out parasite? Yeah, I sent you the I put the video Fool Abroad in your you had said something and then I put the video in there for you to see it because I talked about parasites some time ago. So you bought some detox clay that I heard might be good, but I don't know it. See, I don't know about that either. I tried a lot of stuff. Oh my goodness, have I tried so much stuff. Uh, yeah, check that video out because I put it in there. Whatever you said, what video you said something under, I took and put that video underneath there for you to check it out. Yeah, Dara, please keep coming. I'm gonna try to come on as much as possible because this here, I like for people to feel comfortable and free to chat and say whatever they want to say, but not disrespect me. You know, disrespect me means coming on here telling me that what I'm saying is wrong. I always say this is what I know. So what I know don't necessarily mean you gonna know it. So you tell me what you know, but you do it in respect, and I ain't got no problem with it. You know, some guy, you know, a guy came on and he did disrespect. When you do disrespect, I'm gonna show out on you because I said enough in the videos not to do that. You know, it ain't nothing wrong with going on your channel speaking your truth because that's what I do here. But it don't necessarily mean it's true for you. You know, I feel you at work right now. Well, I want you to come in here and share your story because you're the only man in here right now. And I love it when the man come in because that I want these women to know that there's some good men out there. You know, I want women to know that. There's some good men out there. There's some anyway, what made me and the guy disconnect uh uh after 10 years of being friends, he tried to have sex with me, and I don't like that. And he called me a bitch. And I told him, I said, y'all started that shit over in Germany, over in, where did Trump come from? Trump family came from, where is it? Russia, came from Russia. Uh, I told him, I said, y'all started that shit over in Russia calling your own women bitches. I'm not a bitch. I'm not a damn female dog. So, and I told him that. And then shortly after, a few days later, I called him to talk to him. His wife told me that he had had a massive heart attack. See, you got to be very careful who you put your mouth on. I don't wish bad things to happen to people. That's not what I do. But I know things happen to people. And it happens to people because you can't come up see if okay, you may or you may not understand what I'm about to say. This is my body, this is my mouth. But inside of me, I have the God substance. And there are times when God itself will speak through my mouth or your mouth or somebody else's mouth. And then when you come up against that God speaking out of your mouth, my mouth, you're putting yourself in harm's way. So what I'm saying, you can come up against me, but if you come up against the God in me, you in trouble. Because God is not a man that he or she should lie. You know, even they were dumb enough to put it in the Bible that God created good and evil. But that's just negative and positive. That's all it is. It's positive and negative. And we all are that. Everybody down here. You know, the problem is when you see those people killing people, I forgot what you call them, going around killing, they're at their lowest and they in their mind, the killing that they're doing, they don't know it to be wrong or right. They just killing. That's what happens to people that don't want to change. They stay in that thing for so long till it's just they're right now. Their wrong is just their right. Just like the boy that said it today at the store, he said, "What did I do to you wrong?" He didn't see reaching over me wrong. He didn't see any wrong in that. And when a brother told him to apologize, he looked at the brother like, "I know you just didn't embarrass me in front of this." He probably called me a bitch, old bitch, because the young people have a tendency to say or use those words. I don't care because I'm not neither. I may be old, but I ain't no bitch. But I'm just saying they use words like that out their mouths, and because they use word when you're not a certain thing, it don't hurt you. I don't been called so many names. I've been called a witch. I've been called a lesbian. I've been called a Bobby Hemmett copycat. That's funny to me. I've been called so many names. It's just fun. I don't copy nobody. Nobody. It's just that people don't understand spirituality, because if they understood spirituality, you can have somebody over in France saying something, and then you have somebody over in America saying something, and they said the same thing, and the intellect would say she got that from the person from France. That's what the intellect says. But the spiritual person would say, "Man, that spiritual is powerful." See, that's the difference. The intellect don't understand or comprehend spiritual things, and it never will. It never will. That's why it's important to allow your spiritual self to come in and do some things. Because your intellect can never comprehend some shit. There are some people that I know that get chemo. My son gets chemo. He's been doing chemo now for 7 and some strong shit. The people in the past that I know did some chemo, they died. I had an uncle that had chemo, and he died. He didn't. He died from maybe taking maybe one time, 3 times, maybe, but he died. There were some more people in my family died, but and not that people that I knew died from chemo. My son been taking chemo for some years now. He'll stop and they'll start back up. He's still going. And see, it ain't so much the college that I'm just fascinated about how the power behind that the Most High put in each one of our bodies to sustain stuff that would normally kill us. I'm telling you, he should be dead with what he has had to. And the membrane, he shouldn't have no memory of shit. And this boy came out of 3.8. That's his GPA, 3.8. And I'm just using that. It could be something that I can go on and on about different. That to me is miracles. And I believe in miracles. There's this lady, I met her. I went to the hospital the other day, and I met her, and she has rheumatoid arthritis in her body. That means it's like MS. It's like a lot of other diseases that have you hurting because the joints is causing you a lot of pain. It ain't nothing but badass blood. There's a story in the Bible where the woman had the issue of blood for 12 years, and Jesus supposedly healed her. All right? And because she touched the hem of his garment. And a lot of those scriptures in the Bible is talking about the penis and the vagina. You just have to know which one it is. You're trying to be pure in your thinking, but that's what the intellect does. It won't go beyond. And then when you tell people certain things about it, they want to say, "Oh, she's," because on the back of the Bible, it says if you change the words or whatever, the most the Most High didn't write that. The Most High didn't inspire the men to write that. They wrote that because they want you to believe the stuff literal. Because their attitude is the chosen ones. People don't know that the chosen ones that they speak of in that Bible is not the masses. The chosen ones is the elite. It's the patriarchals calling themselves that wrote the book. It's them calling themselves the chosen one, because in their mind they have the knowledge. So Fuller Broad says, "Do you think there is a good purpose to our ego? Why do we have it?" I'm not sure why. I do know this, Fuller Broad. The ego is attached to the physical body. It only is applicable to the earth. Now, when you look at the characteristics of the ego does not go away. What the spiritual part of you do is help the ego. It trains the ego how to deal with you, and it trains the ego how to deal with others. A good example. I'm gonna give you one example. Uh, the word control. When you have children, you learn how to control your children. That's the ego doing that. Okay? You feel like you know what's best for your children. But then the spiritual side will come in there and teach you that you don't. You don't know what's best for your children because the ego don't know what's best. It does not know what's best. Okay? Only the spiritual side of you knows what's best. So what the spiritual do or come in when you let it, the spiritual side of you will come in and teach you that the only control that you should have is of yourself, not people. So now the spiritual part of you is teaching you to let the ego control you. Say for instance, you get mad about let's just say you don't like to wait. And so you don't like to wait on nothing. You're always in a hurry. So and so the ego get to cursing folks out and saying ugly things or whatever. Uh so what the spiritual part of you do is not gonna it's gonna teach you to do some other things. Like for me, it I picked up a book because I the people that I knew in the past, they always was late. I'm an on time kind of a person, but the people that I knew was always late, and they wouldn't apologize. They didn't care about apologizing, and they didn't care if they had you waiting on them for 2 hours. So that used to piss me off. So now, well, those people are not in my life, but if they were in my life, I know what to do now because the spiritual side of me has taught me read a book. That's how them folks is. They late. They late people. They go late. They do everything late. I know a girl that used to go to work late and they didn't fire her. She went to work late. Maybe she stayed late. I don't know. But the that's the difference. So I don't know why. I do know that the ego is only attached to the earth. I do know as you go higher up in yourself, I do know the less of the ego shows its head. But you need the ego because it's the ego. Let's just say you feeling down. And then notice the trick with the ego. The ego will have you feeling bad about yourself, But then the ego will turn around and encourage you. Did you know it came from the same source? So you don't get rid of it. So Food Abroad said, thank you. That makes a lot of sense. I often wonder why we have the ego if it causes so many problems. And then she says, I wonder why we can't always be led by our spirit self. Because we busy. You can be led. It's just that you have to make your spiritual self to be more important than your intellect. Because the ego is a part of the intellect. Um, I've had professionals that tell me, "Oh no, it's not. No, it's not. No." Listen, I don't listen to that. I don't give a damn how you can write 50,000 books out there as much as you want. I'm not gonna take your word if it ain't spiritual. I'm not gonna take it because we can write what we want to write. And now one thing I don't do though, I don't deny denounce your experience. If you had personal experiences and you tell me about them, I believe you. But if you gonna go out there and write some book about some other shit that ain't personal, I'm not gonna believe that shit every time. You know, people often take something somebody else said and go tell somebody else, and it goes on, no, no. Now the whole world is speaking that same thing. That's what happened with Jesus. It started with a group of people, then it went to a section of people, and then it went to another section of people, and now the whole world is speaking of this Jesus that never existed. So if you want to say this Jesus existed, could he be Zeus? Did Zeus ever existed? You know what I'm saying? You know, we have to look at these things. You know, we like this right here. You know, we have to look at these things. But all of it is energy. Every bit of it. Everything that you see around you is energy. Everything in you is energy. It's energy. But just know that the energy works inside out. They put that shit in the cartoons and they think nobody paying attention to it. I love animations. They put that shit in the cartoons and they feeding that stuff to your children. They tried to feed it to the adults, but many of the adults weren't paying attention to it. They were just watching movies as a movie for entertainment, not for nothing really, you know. So Fuller says, I think that many of gods from mythology were actually human beings. Right, they are. They were spiritual divine selves, but because humans were so mentally fractured, they assumed the gods were external to them. Absolutely. They were all physical people, Fuller. And they still, there is the fraternity call themselves the Divine Nine. Divine. I did a video on that. Divine Nine. And I broke down the words. I used flip charts this time. I've been doing a lot of videos with flip charts because I went to school for that. And so I'm just playing with my creativity. And probably a few people probably read the flip charts, but I'm just playing with my creativity. But yeah, They call themselves Divine Nine, and people don't realize uh, they're that too, you know, because of this. Because archons are rulers. Who are the rulers today? Anybody in high position would be considered to be an archon. Anybody. And as far as divine, you are divine. Why? Because you have the spark. Divine is this. You have the God spark or the God in you. We are all gods, goddesses, planets, elements. Mm-hmm. You have to recognize it. You have to recognize it. It's important to know that you are God because you have the God substance. They say that the black man in the moon is androgynous because he's feminine and masculine. Every damn thing down here is feminine and masculine. Some people take it to a sex, but that's not what it originally was. But some people take it down to the sex. You know, they degrade every damn thing that was really pure, and they took it to the lowest. You know how they always say the lowest common denominator? So Fool Abroad said, thank you for sharing your wisdom with us, Miss Deborah. I love your videos. Thank you. But I'm surprised you missed that one, Fool Abroad. I'm surprised you missed the parasite one. Because that one's been up there for a while. I even showed you the different worms that's in you, in people. We see, people don't understand the human body is made from animal. All people have to do is go and ask some doctor that you can trust that don't mind sharing. The only reason why the doctor shared with me because they was getting up out of here. But one of them still here. But I'm not in touch with her now. I haven't been in touch with her in a while. But one of them is gone. But the human body is animal. It's animal. If you look at parts of your body, think about the animal. What animal? Look at your feet. Your feet, your toenails. Those are either bear or tiger or anything that have claws. That's where that came from. Then when you look at the skin itself, the skin, I don't care what skin you got, what color, it's snake. The snake is the only animal down here that sheds and it reforms itself. You feel similar to the lion and cat. Yeah, I know because see, remember when they put in there that God told Adam was feminine and when Adam was told uh uh when Adam was created as male and female, that's androgynous. It was told to rule the animals. The ruling the animals stages. The embryo go through the animal stage, right? So ruling the animal was not the ones on the outside so much, it's the ones on the inside of you that you need to rule, because that is the beast. When they talk about the beast over in Book of Revelation, the beast is inside. The humans are the beast. They're beasts because they're in lower form thinking, in lower form thinking. And that's what makes you the beast. people were calling the government the beast. Well, they are because they're human too, but we are too. For as long as we stay in our lower form thinking, we're considered to be the beast. But yeah, we made from different animals. I find it fascinating. I find it fascinating because when I start looking at the inside, I've been studying the inside of the body lately, and it's a process. I see why they go to school for so the doctors go to school for so many years. I see that now. It's not something you learn overnight, but it's just amazing to me. And I still didn't find that doggone word. I wrote it down somewhere, but I'll find it. And when and I because I'll remember to put it under that video. But it's amazing how if the body operate properly and it gets its proper minerals from the ground, the body is a phenomenon. It really is. I do believe that you can rise from the lower self to the higher self, but you can't do it with these uh these substitutes that they give you, from the store. It has to come from the minerals from the ground, and ain't nothing being in the ground unless you have uh a garden. My daughter went to Trinidad with her father, and the his sister she brought back a piece of aloe vera, and I went out and got some soil off the ground here, black dirt, soil where I saw things growing, and I put it in the pot, and I watched a few videos that talked about the aloe vera and how to keep it alive, and the shit still died on me. I personally think that certain either the soil is messed up in the ground, or that particular aloe vera only works in certain countries. You know, um, I rise, but yeah, it all right, all right. But it's just amazing. It's just amazing when you look at the what was in the ground. There were cells, organs, organisms, same shit in our body. But since they putting stuff in the ground, it's killing what's supposed to grow in the ground for us, unless it's in because I know America here. I know Georgia was good for growing stuff. Uh, there's a man right up the street from me. I look and I see he grows collard greens. And I be wanting to go over there so bad sometimes and ask him to give me so I can grow and put it in a pot. Because the soil that he has must be good because them collard greens grow. But that's all I ever see. But I'm not saying he don't grow nothing else. He may be growing something else. I just can't see it from the street. But ain't nothing like it ain't nothing like having a garden, growing your own shit. And I'm serious. Ain't nothing like having that. That is such oh to be able to go out there and pick what you need to eat. Oh man, a cucumber, a peach, a plum, a pear. You know, you're getting all the preservatives that you need for your body. Coming from the ground. I just remember my grandmother. She had all that stuff. You know, If she didn't cook enough, hell, I used to go climb the tree. I did. I used to climb the she had a pecan tree, she had a pear tree, she had plums, branches. They weren't trees. It was just they were like branches hanging on the side of the street. It was a whole row of them. Plums, peaches. None of that stuff grow no more. You know, but she had them, and she had this big ass garden. You go out there and she had watermelon. She had the yellow meat watermelon, the red meat watermelon. Man, my mouth get watery just thinking about the real food. Cause this shit here we eating, it just ain't hitting on nothing. I went and bought some peanut butter cookies. Uh, the yellow, the cookie itself is yellow and has peanut butter in between, and then they got one that has cheese in it. I went and got the peanut butter from Publix, and they stale. It's like you shouldn't have to go in a store and spend money and the stuff be stale. You know what I'm saying? I know they have to stock stuff. When the trucks come in, they bring stuff in and they stock stuff for months. But who wants to eat some stale ass cookies? That's the worst thing, especially when you set your mouth for it. Because I'm trying to eat like a little peanut butter, something that I'm thinking may give me something, a substitute, because that's what it's doing. I just I went to the I've been going to the doctor a lot uh because I had hemorrhoid that I had since I was a teenager. I used to be constipated, and I used to sit on concrete. And the thing don't got bigger. So they don't want to put me to sleep to cut the thing off because it don't got bigger. And Nan's blistered. And I'm talking about, you get some shit when you get old. When you get older, it be something else. When I was younger, I didn't. I could sit on the toilet and some of my skin be on my toilet. And I talked to this girl that's 30 something years old. She said that her skin be on her toilet. And I'm like, well, mine just started coming in when I turned 60. You know what I'm talking about? That's crazy to me. Daryl said my grandmother used to have helicopter come to the project, and she exchanged garden food. I long ago she used to find pregnant women to plant the seeds in the ground because the light in them. Oh wow, that's awesome. Them grandmothers and them gardens, boy, I tell you, ooh wee. And my grandmother, she was a little short somebody. She actually looked like a pygmy for real. She was short. And I, because I wonder, I said, we had giants in the planet because they got tree stumps all over the place. And um, I wondered we got how we got as small as we did. And it's because we shrunk. And the reason why I know we shrunk because I'm 5'6". I was 5'6", I'm sorry. And I'm 5'3" now. And I remember when my mother, when she was living, she was 5'7", 5'7". Wait a minute, no, she was 5'11". She was tall, and she shrunk. I remember when I went to see her on the after she had passed. When I went in the hospital and saw her laying on that bed, she had shrunk. So I guess what happened as time progressed, people start shrinking. You when you look at those athletes, those basketball athletes, a lot of them are still tall, but I'm talking about real giants. They're not giants. I'm talking about 10 and 11 and 12 and that type of height. I'm not talking about those guys. I remember seeing a video, and I think they showed this video was in China. And in China, there was this guy. He was very, very tall. He was a Chinese guy. I don't know what that was. Sometimes you wonder what the hell is going on down here in this earth. Now, the alien stuff, I don't believe in the alien. I believe the alien, the third and fourth dimension is right here together. So the fourth dimension is right there where the moon is, and we right here. And I just don't believe the alien story of there's other planet with uh different, they got different species down here. I don't believe that shit. I just don't at all. Now, do we reincarnate? I do believe that you do reincarnate, but you don't. They were saying that some of the kings reincarnated in the same body. That's why they preserve. That's a damn lie. I know that's a damn lie because the body stinks. There's no way possible you can preserve a stinking animal body. There's no way possible. If you just use your common sense, there's no way possible you can preserve that. You have to get in another body. Can't preserve it. Maybe they trying to work on trying to get, preserve it. Because I see the body as a working progression. Because when I look at your bodies and see if one side of your body, I know y'all heard me mention that before, that one side of your body is longer than the other. I know y'all heard me mention that. I mentioned that several times. Uh, a lot of people, I noticed that a lot of people are having, when they get older, they're having problems with their legs and the hip. And the reason why they're having problems with the hip is because one of the legs is longer than the other. That's why. A lot of guys go and get hip replacement. And I knew a lady in Florida. Um, Her husband was a judge, and she used to come and stay with me, visit me. But her husband had he had a hip replacement, and that's what the guys do. They don't. It's funny. You guys, some of you guys, y'all don't like pain. The woman, she takes pain. She takes pain like a damn champ. But the men, shit, the men don't like pain too much. They like little babies. They don't like pain. And that's how he was. I be laughing in a good way at the men when they can't take. Because I know the woman, she takes that pain. Uh, Pregnancy pain. I think pregnancy pain, shit, that's the worst pain you can have. Labor pain. It's one of them anyway. It's a hard one. Anyway, y'all doing it again. Y'all let me sitting up here doing all the talking. Amon, you just ain't saying nothing. And fool abroad, you just don't got quiet. You know, this is a chat that we can talk about anything. There is no particular subject. So when I come online, the particular subjects that I do is in I do the flip charts. But when I come live, we could talk about anything. No pain. Uh, yeah, I think y'all just be gotta chat with me. I'm thinking about dyeing my hair. It just it used to be curly. I turned around, put that rice in it, and it got nappy. And I want to dye it. But every time I dye it black, then it gets more gray. I love gray hair. I saw this lady in the store. Her hair was gray all over. It was a nice gray. But she was young though. But then she could have dyed it that color. I don't know. All right, good people. I'm about to sign off. Y'all got me talking. And y'all ain't saying nothing. Well, all right. I'll try to come back on. What's this? We Thursday. I try to come back on. Oh, my daughter's supposed to be taking me to some place. She told me for Mother's Day. She told me Saturday. She told me to, what did she tell me? Tonight, get comfortable. I ain't gonna tell you what it is, but I know you're gonna like it. And I already told her I don't do no massage because this one guy, she took me to this one guy. He did a massage on me. Ooh, felt so good. Then she took me to that same guy again. That boy had me hurting so bad. I mean, he was pinching me. He was pinching my body. And I refused to go to a massage, but she claimed, she said, you're gonna have to get naked and put on a robe. I don't know what that is, but I guess I'll see you on Saturday. She's very creative. She comes up with some shit that I wouldn't even think about. I guess that's what being different is. But I like it. I liked it. I like people different. You know, I wouldn't want to live in a world where we all look alike, thinking the same. I like the diversity. Daryl said, God bless, no stress, we the best peace. Okay. Yeah, we okay. So what okay, I'm gonna do something I hadn't did in a long time. And I want y'all to be here with me. I'm gonna speak to the universe. Universe, I ask that you look upon the earth as the people are here, and that you will cause peace, joy, fun, happiness, good wealth all over the planet with the people, and that you help every household, every man, every woman, every child. And I ask that you break down the molester, the rapist, the abuser, and you just put them in a place where they can be rehabilitated if possible. I ask that you cause the system to be restructured, the patriarchal system, because it's time up for that behavior. We don't need that down here. We don't want that down here. We want everybody to have equality down here in all the cultures. We want every woman to be treated like a woman. We want every child to be a child, and cause everybody to be spiritual if possible. so they'll know what they need to do for their children, because they don't know. Intellect does not help the child. Spirituality does. And we ask that you help and let there be peace in this earth. Until we meet again, people, I'm out. Y'all have a good one now.